Have you ever wondered how certain people achieve levels of success that seem almost mythical? Napoleon Hill dedicated decades to studying precisely that, and from his work emerged a formula that anyone can follow. Today, we present a summary of the 7 key points Hill identified as the laws of success. These principles are not just theories. They are the distillation of the lives and habits of the most successful men and women of his time. Throughout these 7 points, we will break down how each law can be applied to transform your aspirations into tangible achievements. Each of these points offers a specific approach that allows you to align your actions with your most ambitious goals. By exploring these principles, you will equip yourself with the necessary tools to embark on a journey toward success, using tried and true strategies that have led many to the pinnacle of their careers and personal lives. Point 1. Define a clear purpose. Imagine you are at sea, sailing without a compass or a fixed destination. You will most likely end up going in circles without reaching anywhere. This metaphor perfectly illustrates the importance of having a clear purpose in life, especially if you want to achieve success. Napoleon Hill, in his profound study of the lives of the most successful men and women of his time, discovered that they all had one thing in common: a well-defined purpose. A clear purpose is not just a dream or a vague aspiration. It is a statement of intent that guides all your actions and decisions. It is what gets you up every morning with determination and keeps you on track even when obstacles seem insurmountable. Think of figures like Thomas Edison or Helen Keller, whose names resonate through history not only for their achievements but for the relentless clarity of their goals. Edison did not just want to experiment with light bulbs. He wanted to light up the world. Keller did not just want to overcome her personal barriers. She wanted to be a voice for those who, like her, faced considerable challenges. But how do you formulate a clear purpose? It starts with deep introspection. You must ask yourself what you truly value, what you are passionate about, and where you see the intersection between your skills and your interests. This exercise is not something done overnight. It requires time and often experimentation. Many people go through several versions of their purpose before finding the one that truly resonates with their most authentic self. Once you have an idea of your purpose, the next step is to articulate it in a way that is both specific and inspiring. For example, if you are an educator, your purpose might be more specific than simply teaching. It could be to inspire the next generation of innovators through an educational approach that fosters creativity and problem-solving. This kind of formulation not only clarifies your intentions, but also provides a framework for evaluating opportunities and decisions. It is crucial to understand that a clear purpose also acts as a beacon for others. When the people around you understand your vision and goals, it is easier for them to offer the kind of support and opportunities you need to move forward. Additionally, a well-defined and effectively communicated purpose can attract people with similar goals and values, creating a network of contacts that can be invaluable. Take, for example, someone who has done precisely this, J.K. Rowling. Before becoming one of the most famous authors in the world, Rowling was a single mother struggling to make ends meet. But she had a clear purpose. She wanted to write novels that captured children's imaginations while addressing complex and universal themes. This purpose not only guided her writing but also helped her persist through numerous rejections from publishers until she finally found success with the Harry Potter series. The clarity of purpose, as Napoleon Hill teaches us, is more than just a step toward success. It is the foundation upon which all other efforts are built. Without it, it is easy to get lost in the confusion of possibilities or the discouragement of temporary challenges. With it, every step you take is imbued with meaning and direction, bringing you closer to the realization of your highest aspirations. So take a moment to consider what you truly want to achieve. Define your purpose and let it illuminate your path to success. Point 2. Create a mastermind alliance. On the journey to success, the company you choose can make all the difference. Imagine trying to lift a heavy piece of furniture by yourself. Now imagine doing the same thing, but with the help of a group of friends. The task not only becomes easier, but probably also more enjoyable. This is what Napoleon Hill wanted to highlight with the concept of the mastermind alliance, the power of collaboration and mutual support in the pursuit of success. A mastermind alliance, according to Hill, is not just a group of friends or acquaintances. It is a carefully selected set of individuals who share your passion and dedication, but who also bring their own unique skills and perspectives. Together, they form a dynamic team that can tackle complex challenges, generating ideas and solutions that would be unattainable individually. Think of the great achievements in history, and you will find that many were the result of such alliances. The founders of Apple, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, are a classic example. Jobs had an exceptional vision for design and marketing, while Wozniak brought unparalleled technical genius. Together, they not only revolutionized the personal computing industry but also laid the foundations for one of the most innovative and valuable companies in the world. Creating a mastermind alliance begins with identifying people whose skills complement yours and whose goals and values align with your own. You do not need to look for the most qualified individuals in general terms, but for those who fit perfectly with the specific needs of your mission. Additionally, mutual respect and trust are essential, as these are the pillars that will support the alliance during times of challenge and tension. One should not underestimate the power of effective communication within this group. There must be a constant flow of ideas and concerns, as well as a willingness to give and receive constructive criticism. This open communication facilitates the continuous adaptation and growth of the alliance, allowing all members to feel valued and understood. In addition to the practical benefits, a mastermind alliance also offers crucial emotional support. Entrepreneurship can be a lonely and often stressful experience. Having a trusted group to turn to not only for practical solutions, but also for moral support can be incredibly empowering. Think of the author J.K. Rowling, whom we mentioned earlier. Although the act of writing is largely solitary, it was through her support network that she found the strength to persevere in the face of adversity and rejection. Finally, it is vital that the Mastermind Alliance meets regularly to review progress, set goals, and adjust plans. These meetings keep everyone on the same path and foster a sense of collective responsibility. They are also an opportunity to celebrate achievements, which can be a great boost to the team's morale. Creating and maintaining a mastermind alliance is undoubtedly an effort that requires dedication and commitment. However, the benefits of having a circle of allies on your path to success are invaluable. You will not only move faster toward your goals, but also enjoy the journey much more, knowing that you are not alone in this adventure. So, as you work to define your clear purpose, also consider whom you could invite to join your mastermind alliance. Together, you will be able to lift mountains much higher than any you could hope to climb alone. Point 3. Practice autosuggestion. Have you ever heard about the power of positive thinking? It's not just a passing trend from modern self-help books. In fact, it's a concept that Napoleon Hill highlighted as fundamental for success. He called it autosuggestion, and it's much more than just thinking positively. It's a powerful technique for programming your mind towards achieving your goals. Autosuggestion operates on the principle that if you can influence your subconscious mind, you can control your behavior and ultimately your destiny. It's like a gardener tending to their garden. If you plant apple seeds, you wouldn't expect to harvest oranges. Similarly, if you consistently fill your mind with thoughts of success, confidence, and determination, those are the fruits you are more likely to harvest in life. Let's see it in action with an example. Imagine an athlete like Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympic swimmer of all time. Phelps didn't just train physically every day. He also practiced visualization, a form of autosuggestion. He would imagine himself executing the perfect race, touching the wall first, over and over in his mind. This practice not only prepared his body but also programmed his mind for success, so that when competition time came, he had already won hundreds of times in his head. The technique of autosuggestion begins with the clarity of your affirmations. These must be positive, present, and precise. For instance, instead of saying, "I don't want to fail," it is much more effective to say, "I am successful and confident in every step I take." This affirmation not only eliminates negativity but also establishes a tone of inevitable success that your mind will begin to accept as fact. Another crucial aspect of autosuggestion is repetition. The human brain tends to accept as truth that which it hears repeatedly, which is why repetitive advertising is so effective. Similarly, by repeating positive affirmations daily, you reinforce those ideas in your subconscious mind, which eventually manifest in your actions and decisions. In addition to affirmations, autosuggestion can also involve visualization, as in the case of Phelps. It's a powerful technique used not only by athletes but also by great leaders and entrepreneurs. For example, Oprah Winfrey, known for her media success and powerful influence, has shared how visualization played a fundamental role in her career. She not only saw herself as a successful person but also lived and felt that success in her mind long before it materialized in reality. Of course, practicing autosuggestion alone does not guarantee success. It must be accompanied by action. It's a tool for setting the right mindset, one that encourages you to take the necessary steps to turn your visualizations and affirmations into reality. Autosuggestion prepares the ground, but you are the one who must walk it. In summary, autosuggestion is much more than a mental trick. It's an essential part of your arsenal for success, according to Napoleon Hill. By mastering this technique, you not only improve your mental outlook but also create a fertile environment in your mind for your dreams and aspirations to flourish. Start today. Decide what you want, declare it with conviction, and repeat it with faith. You will see how gradually, what was once just a thought in your mind begins to take shape in your reality. Point 4. Acquire specialized knowledge. When Napoleon Hill talked about the importance of acquiring specialized knowledge, he wasn't simply referring to learning something new now and then. He emphasized the need to become an expert in a highly specific area, so your depth of knowledge makes you an indispensable reference. This not only increases your value in the market, but also positions you as a leader in your field. Imagine you decide to open a restaurant. It's not enough to know how to cook. You must understand management, marketing, customer experience, and, of course, gastronomy at a superior level. Or perhaps you're passionate about technology and want to invent the next revolutionary gadget. In that case, your path must include formal studies in engineering, as well as deep immersion in the latest technological trends and market needs. The key to specialized knowledge is that it must be applicable. It's not just about accumulating information for the sake of it, but about being able to apply that knowledge practically to solve problems, create value, and advance in your career. This type of learning goes beyond textbooks and enters the realm of real-world experience and constant experimentation. A classic example of this is Henry Ford. Although he didn't invent the automobile, he perfected its production, making it accessible to the general public, which revolutionized the transportation industry. Ford not only had knowledge in engineering but also deeply understood manufacturing processes and the principles of economies of scale. This specialized knowledge not only made him a very wealthy man, but also changed the world. Another interesting aspect of specialized knowledge is that it often requires a network of contacts who can complement your skills. The more specific your field of study, the more you'll need to collaborate with others who have complementary knowledge. For example, if you're a scientist working on a new drug, you'll need the support of experts in molecular biology, clinical trials, pharmaceutical legislation, and more. This collaboration multiplies the impact of your specialized knowledge. Moreover, in the information age we live in, learning something new has never been more accessible. Online courses, webinars, video tutorials, and more are available to everyone. This means there are no excuses for not continuing to learn and deepen your field of interest. However, true mastery comes with continuous application and practice. It's not enough to know something theoretically. You must be able to implement it in real situations and see how it works or doesn't. In summary, acquiring specialized knowledge is much more than simply accumulating data. It's a continuous process of education, application, and collaboration. It's the difference between being someone who merely works in a field and someone who leads and redefines that field. Therefore, if you want to follow Napoleon Hill's advice and chart a clear path to success, start by asking yourself, what do I want to be an expert in? Once you have the answer, immerse yourself fully in that world. Over time, Your dedication will not only make you a leader in your area, but also open doors you didn't even know existed. Point 5. Overflow with imagination. On the path to success, imagination plays a role as crucial as action. Napoleon Hill regarded it as a powerful force capable of turning the highest aspirations into tangible realities. While specialized knowledge equips you with the necessary tools, it is imagination that allows you to see what does not yet exist and ask, why not? Imagination is the incubator where all great ideas are born. It's not just about having visions of grandeur. It's about being able to look beyond the conventional and see opportunities where others see only obstacles. Imagine for a moment the Wright brothers. At a time when human flight was a distant dream, they visualized something that had never been done before. Their imagination led them to build and fly the first powered airplane, changing the course of history and opening the doors to the era of aviation. A distinctive feature of imagination is that it is fueled by curiosity and openness. Think of a child playing. In their world, a simple wooden block can be a car, a boat, or a plane. That is the essence of imagination that we must aspire to maintain as adults, especially when we seek to innovate or solve problems in ways never attempted before. A modern example of how imagination can transform an entire industry is found in Steve Jobs and Apple. Jobs didn't just imagine products. He dreamed of complete user environments that were both aesthetically pleasing and intuitively easy to use. The iPhone, for instance, was not the first smartphone, but it was the first to combine technology and design in a way that captured the imagination of the global public. This did not arise from passive observation, but from an active and overflowing imagination that always asked, "What's next?" Incorporating imagination into your path to success doesn't mean simply daydreaming without purpose. It's a dynamic process of questioning, exploring, and experimenting. For example, if you are in the fashion business and see that sustainability is becoming a priority for consumers, using your imagination could lead you to explore recycled materials or new production techniques that not only respect the environment but also attract consumers conscious of their impact on the planet. Furthermore, imagination goes hand in hand with taking calculated risks. To make your most creative visions a reality, you will often have to venture outside your comfort zone and experiment with ideas that some might consider unconventional or even risky. This kind of boldness is what distinguishes market leaders and innovators from their less imaginative competitors. Lastly, it's important to surround yourself with people who not only share your vision but also encourage and challenge your imagination. Creativity flourishes in environments where ideas can be shared and developed collaboratively. This is the principle behind think tanks and co-working spaces, where the synergy of different minds and perspectives can lead to the conception of ideas that no single mind could have imagined alone. In summary, imagination is the spark that ignites the flame of progress and innovation. Without it, we can become trapped in what is, instead of advancing toward what could be. So challenge yourself to think beyond conventional limits. Allow your imagination to soar freely and watch how, little by little, the pieces of the puzzle of your success begin to fit together in ways you never previously considered. Point 6. Plan with precision. Meticulous planning is more than just a list of tasks. It is an art and a science that, according to Napoleon Hill, is essential for transforming the desire for success into its actual achievement. Think of planning as the treasure map that guides adventurers through unknown terrain to the exact location of hidden fortune. Without this map, adventurers may wander aimlessly, potentially missing golden opportunities due to a lack of direction. Good planning begins with defining clear objectives, but does not stop there. It requires a detailed breakdown of the actions needed to achieve those objectives, including timelines, necessary resources, and checkpoints to assess progress. Imagine you are an architect who wants to build a building. You don't start with the facade or the interior design. You start with a detailed architectural plan that considers every aspect of construction, from the foundation to the final detail of the roof. Take Walt Disney as an example, a master planner. When he envisioned Disneyland, he didn't just think of a theme park. He envisioned an immersive experience that would transport visitors to a completely different world. This vision required meticulous planning that included everything from the layout of the attractions to the details of each character's costume. The result was an overwhelming success that still endures, demonstrating that careful planning is crucial for transforming bold dreams into tangible realities. Planning also involves anticipation. You must be able to look ahead and consider potential challenges and obstacles, preparing strategies to address them. This not only reduces the likelihood of unpleasant surprises, but also keeps you one step ahead of the game. A modern example of this could be a tech entrepreneur planning the launch of a new product, anticipating the rapid evolution of technology, and planning regular updates and technical support to keep the product relevant. Moreover, good planning is not complete without flexibility. While it may seem contradictory, the true skill in planning is not only in following the plan to the letter, but in knowing when it is necessary to adapt it. The best plans are those that allow adjustments in response to changes in the environment or circumstances. For example, if a restaurant launches a new menu and discovers that certain dishes are not popular, a flexible plan would allow for adjustments to the offerings without compromising the quality or identity of the establishment. Precise planning also fosters effective delegation, allowing leaders to assign tasks confidently, knowing what, when, and how things need to be done for the project to progress as planned. This not only optimizes resources but also increases engagement and accountability among all team members. Lastly, remember that planning is a continuous process. Just as a captain constantly adjusts the ship's wheel to ensure it stays on course, you must regularly review and adjust your plans to ensure they remain aligned with your final objectives. In summary, planning with precision is essential for any successful venture. It is not just about charting a path. It is a dynamic process that requires vision, adaptability, and careful resource management. Whatever your goal, remember that a good plan not only shows you where to go but also equips you for the journey, maximizing your chances of success every step of the way. Point 7. Decide with persistence. Making decisions can be intimidating, especially those with the potential to change our lives. However, Napoleon Hill emphasized decision-making as one of the pillars of success. It's not just about making decisions quickly, but doing so with the firmness and persistence needed to move forward despite challenges and adversities. Decision-making is the engine that drives all our actions. Like a locomotive cutting through dense fog, decisions allow us to advance even when the path is not entirely clear. This journey is not easy and requires more than just bravery. It requires unwavering conviction in our abilities and the direction we have chosen. Consider someone like Amelia Earhart, the first woman aviator to fly solo across the Atlantic. Her feat required not only exceptional flying skills and technical knowledge, but also a bold decision to embark on something many considered impossible or even reckless. Her success was not a product of chance. It was the result of a firm decision and a persistent commitment to her goal, despite numerous risks and doubts. Making decisions with persistence also means being prepared to face failure and learn from it. Each failure carries within it a seed of equally important knowledge, crucial for future successes. A good example of this is Thomas Edison. During his work on inventing the light bulb, Edison did not find a path to success immediately. Instead of giving up after the first failed attempts, he used each failure as an opportunity to review and improve his approach. His persistence not only led to the invention of the electric light bulb, but also solidified his reputation as one of the most important inventors in history. Deciding with persistence also involves knowing when it's time to make adjustments. This doesn't mean changing the goal with every obstacle, but rather adapting the strategy to reach that goal. A good strategist doesn't cling blindly to a plan that is no longer viable. They evaluate their options and make necessary adjustments without losing sight of their final goal. This strategic flexibility was key for leaders like Winston Churchill during World War II, who continuously adapted his tactics in response to the changing circumstances of the conflict, but never lost sight of his decision to lead his nation to victory. Persisting in a decision also means having the strength to withstand opposing opinions and the pressure of those who may not share your vision. It's easy to be influenced by others' skepticism or negativity, especially when facing challenges. However, Successful leaders know that the true test of their decision lies not only in their ability to start something, but also in their ability to stay the course amidst adversity. In conclusion, deciding with persistence is a crucial skill that requires courage, flexibility, and above all, unwavering faith in your decisions. It's not just about making a choice and moving forward. It's about keeping that choice alive and vibrant, adapting and strengthening it in response to new learnings and challenges. So, when you face your next challenge, remember that the decision you make to confront it could very well be the key to your success. Now that we have explored the 7 essential points that Napoleon Hill identified as the laws of success, it's time to reflect on how these principles can transform our own lives. From defining a clear purpose to making decisions with persistence, each of these steps offers a valuable tool to forge the path towards our boldest dreams. Every great journey begins with a single step, and the first step towards success is deciding to change. Change involves more than mere superficial adjustments. It means adopting a new perspective, shaping habits that support our highest goals, and most importantly, committing to move forward with unwavering determination. Imagine for a moment the life you desire. What would you do if you weren't afraid to fail? How would you feel each morning knowing you are doing exactly what you were born to do? Keep that vision in your mind, because with the principles we've discussed, that dream is more within reach than you think. But don't fool yourself into thinking the path will be easy. Like any great endeavor, there will be challenges and moments of doubt. However, remember that every obstacle is an opportunity to grow, and every setback is a lesson to learn. History is filled with men and women who, despite adversity, stood firm and transformed their lives and those of others. You can be one of them too. It's time to set aside excuses and doubts. It's time to stop asking what if and start acting. Use specialized knowledge to become a master in your field. Let your imagination open doors to new possibilities. Plan meticulously, but be flexible enough to adapt to changes along the way. And above all, make decisions with the confidence that you are on the right path. Each one of us has the potential to make a difference, to leave a mark on the world. But to do so, we must act, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. History favors the brave, those who, in Napoleon Hill's words, know that getting started is half the battle. So why not start now? I invite you today to make a bold and transformative decision. Don't wait to have all the answers. Instead, trust in your ability to find them along the way. Trust in the power of a mastermind alliance to strengthen your journey, and remember that the most powerful force on your path to success is yourself and your ability to decide and persist. Do not underestimate the impact you can have. The world awaits those willing to take the first step toward change. Be brave, be decisive, and pursue your dreams with a heart full of passion and an indomitable spirit. The path to success is yours to travel. Are you ready to begin?